So, basically, on one cold day overseas while in the Air Force, I decided to go to a bar on base. The rules are the enlisted go to the enlisted bar and the officers go to the officers club. And I remember clearly that day, I just had my BDUs and t-shirt on. I took my uniform shirt off because it was the only one I had clean, and I didn't want it to smell like smoke from the bar the next day. As I was walking in the club, 2 officers said, "Hey, why don't you come in with us and have a beer?" I thought, okay, no one knows me, so what's the harm in one drink? So there I was, having a nice time, just throwing back beers like one of the guys and some shots. I knew I had to be at work in the morning, and I was starting to feel a little uncomfortable. They were both flirting with me a lot. In the beginning, I admit, I welcomed the playful attention, but the more they drank, I knew it was crossing some boundaries, and it was time to leave. As I was walking out to get a bus back to my apartment on the other side of town, I quickly realized the buses finished the last route and I had to call a cab. And that's when the 2 officers said, "Hey, where are you going?" because I never said goodbye. I went to the bathroom and I dipped out. And great, they caught me. They still had beers in their hands, and that's when one of them grabbed me and said, "That wasn't nice of you to leave after we let you in the club, like I owed them a favor or something." At that moment, I blacked out, and I remember them both kind of laughing in the background and saying, "Hurry up" or something. And once they were done assaulting me, saying, "Oh, leave her, she's fine." The next thing I remember, I woke up in a shallow ditch, and I must have started walking home, and I guess I jumped out of a car or something because I didn't want them to know where my apartment was. The next morning, I woke up early with the sun shining down on me, and I had no pants on, and I was soaking wet, and my shirt was torn. A cab driver found me and gave me a jacket and dropped me off at my apartment. It was close to 5 a.m. and I was supposed to be at work at 7 a.m. It's like I died, couldn't get out of bed even if I tried. Flashes of memories I couldn't get to stop, sinking down and making me sick. Alone all day, I sat in the tub and scrubbed away. I had to do it no matter how it hurt. I had to kill the smell and the shame endured, praying this just might do the trick and make it go away. I kept pouring bleach all over my body. I figured, like my mom always told me, that bleach kills everything. I called off work and I went through so many hoops just to tell them I was sick. In the military, you can't be sick. You have to tell this person and that person, and if they deem you sick, then you can go to sick call. The following days would become the biggest nightmare of my life. anyone at all. I stared in shock at these papers discharging me from service. I couldn't cope with the military life it read. Had anybody heard one fucking thing I'd said? Instead, they chose to say, just make her go away. What the hell is going on? You know I'm qualified to be deployed worldwide, but now you want me gone. They'll come home to a hero's parade, get thanked for their service, have it made. Well, I will always be the girl who couldn't hack it. So I came home and life continued to get worse for me. I started drinking and doing drugs, harming myself. I started getting sick from food, and I would drink just to puke. I'm now bulimic. I thought that if I was skinnier, that a real man would like me. My family was so tired of getting me out of jail, or picking me up from the bars, or just cleaning up for my hangovers. My poor grandmother. She would wipe the snot and vomit from my face and just say, "Honey, what are you doing to yourself?" Going insane. I had enough of hiding, enough of pain, enough of being a burden to my family, so I went to my place to pray. I took a step, slowly inching my way across the bridge. I knew this place so well, I knew each stone and crack. One more step and no more turning back. But all I knew that day is this would make it go away. Just wanted to go away. Just one more step and it all goes away, goes away, goes away, goes away. I was crying so hard I couldn't see. And as I was able to get to the end, someone in the distance said, "Hey girl, stop. Whatever you're planning on doing, don't." So, shit. There went my plan. It turns out that it was a nun from a nearby abbey taking a walk. What's the coincidence? So, she came up and hugged me and told me to call someone. So naturally, we called my grandma, and she took me to the emergency room where I spent 30 days in a locked mental psychiatric unit. A few years later, after trying counseling and pills, I was still very sick. I tried to get help from the Veterans Affairs, and that was a fight, and a very hard and long one. I never even knew the term military sexual trauma or what it meant until years later. It's a term defined by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs as experiences of sexual assault or repeated threatening sexual harassment that occurred while a person was in the United States Armed Forces. People are not always aware of what they're experiencing until after the fact. If it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Be mindful of your surroundings and make sure you're with people that you can trust, and always have a buddy. Tell each other where you're going or what you plan on doing so someone else knows where you are. It is important if you are new in the military. I believe that if more people become aware of sexual trauma in the military and stop the don't ask, don't tell concept, people can heal and be themselves. My journey is long and has many layers. There's so much trauma that needs to be healed when someone goes through such a tragic event. Anxiety, depression, nightmares, insecurities, isolation, eating disorders, substance abuse. The list is tireless. And my hope is that people recognize the PTSD that other warriors go through might not just be because they went to a war zone and fought battles. It's also a war zone in their own minds, suffered because of someone else. I'm not the first person this happened to, and unfortunately, I will not be the last. So, instead of hiding in shame, speak the fucking truth. You're alone and ashamed. You're so tired of being questioned, being silenced, being blamed. What if everyone's starting to think that you're not as strong as you claim to be? The story's now long gone. They say it's time you moved on. Push it down, hide away. But I say, tell it over and over and over again. When they pretend not to hear, take a deep breath and then say it louder and louder till someone listens, and someone will listen. You can find some relief in the next lover or bottle, but the comfort will be brief. You get clever and better at finding new covers for the grief and hate. No matter what you try to do, the only way out is through. Don't protect